In the words of the immortal and ever fabulous Amy Buttermer, yo! Hello, internet humans. Emma said that today I could talk about whatever I want, so I'm going to be stereotypical and talk about my favourite books, favourite poetry collection, and favourite play, because, literature student hit me with a car. Just to clarify, a literature student didn't hit me with a car. I was just being pretentious, so I said hit me with a car because I'm an idiot. Yeah, okay. If you didn't think this video concept was cliche enough, my favourite book is The Perks of Being a Wallflower, so it just got even clichéer. But the thing is, I don't give a damn. Icona Pop starts playing. This book is really, really freaking good all up in the face. It's actually super excellent, especially as it was Stephen Chbosky's first novel, and then he went on to write the screenplay for it, and it's a fantastic movie, and everyone in it is so attractive, it's really hard to deal with. But it's like, everyone knows the quote from this book, which is like, and in that moment I swear we're infinite, and when it's on like a photo set on Tumblr it does look really dumb and cliche, but when it's in the book you're like, holy shit, it does feel infinite, it totally fits, it's a complete world and it feels so realistic. And when the book finishes, you just imagine that the characters are going to get on with their lives. It's really hard to imagine that they're just characters because of the way it's told, which is quite unique. It's sort of not a usual narrative. It's told through sort of almost anonymous letters to a girl who didn't sleep with someone when they could have at a party, because the protagonist, Charlie, believes that this is somebody of integrity who will understand him, but he doesn't enclose a return address because he's sort of using her as a diary, but I think perhaps there's an incentive when it would be an actual person. It's a very beautiful, sensitive and understanding book, and it's also very touching, and he's almost like an amalgamation of so many different ideas and characters to form this sort of pinnacle of I don't want to say perfect because this character isn't perfect, but he's sort of the pinnacle of the awkward teen that coming-of-age literature tries to capture. He's basically like a more competent Holden Caulfield, and Holden Caulfield's one of my favourite literary characters, so yeah. Just a completely A-star books, one of those books that you enjoy, you can laugh at, cry at, etc. But it also helps you sort of understand yourself if you're a teenager, or to help you to understand teenagers, and it's just it's fabulous. Just go and read it. It's not very long, and you can read it in like a day. Just sit down one afternoon and get this into your body. I'm going to cheat because I'm going to talk about my favourite poet, Allen Ginsberg. I'm even more stereotypical, and I'm also going to talk about The Naked Lunch by William Burroughs, which is a book, but they're both from the Beat Generation, which was a sort of literary and cultural generation in, I think it was the 1950s in America. I can't say where in America because it started in New York, I believe, around, what's the university called? I don't remember what the university started in was called, but Jack Kerouac, who's used to be an American football player and then turned writer when he hurt his leg, who wrote incredibly quickly, I don't remember. He wrote like 10 books in like 5 years or something crazy like that. He used to write for weeks on end on like rolls of paper all stuck together. But there was Jack Kerouac, and then there was Allen Ginsberg, and then there was William Burroughs, and those were the sort of like core three that formed this cultural movement, and they sort of tapped into a very much post-war frustration and a youthful frustration with a very strange and America at the time that sort of wanted everyone to be quiet, to sort of settle down after the war, I believe, and they were sort of like, no, we're not going to settle down. They were very much tapped into sort of ideas about sexuality that were hush-hush at the time, especially homosexuality, and William Burroughs does this fantastically in Naked Lunch by completely going against any form of structure or sense or anything, creates his own voice, sometimes uses the cut and stick technique, where you cut up a page of writing and stick it back together in a different form, and doesn't stick to one narrator, moves between narrators, there's no real plot. It is just, it's a Naked Lunch, it's a banquet sort of the weird and taboo and everything you're not supposed to talk about, William Burroughs talks about, and it was published in 50s, 60s, which was incredible. So really, Allen Ginsberg inspired that with his poem Howl, which is just the best poem ever. You just got to read it. It's like 20 minutes long. Sorry, this sort of turned into a weird history lesson. I don't know what's going on. But in Howl, it starts with the classic, "I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, naked, dragging themselves through the Negro streets of dawn, looking for an angry fix. Angel-headed hipsters burning for the ancient heavenly connection to the starry dynamo in the machinery of night." There's my terrible Allen Ginsberg impression for you. It has a very strange form. It's in free verse. It's in 4 parts. It has repetitions, sexual allusions, homosexual allusions, stuff about mental health, which was also taboo at the time. And Ginsberg completely was changing the face of everything that had been done before, tapping into things like Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman, and sort of bringing it all together and giving people this energy that was there at the time, like Hunter S. Thompson talks about in his novel Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He said it was a time where you could strike a match anywhere and there'd be sparks. It was sort of that energy, that youth, and Allen Ginsberg really gave them a voice. And there was an obscenity trial over it because some people believed that it was basically just porn, not literature, but they won that. Amusingly, Ginsberg didn't even attend his own trial. He was in Tangier, I believe that's the name of the place. He was helping William Burroughs and Jack Kerouac put together Naked Lunch because William Burroughs was just on all sorts of drugs, which are also covered in the book, and so wasn't in the best state, I don't believe. So he was sorting that out, which his publisher believed was more important than the trial for his own book. But yeah, Allen Ginsberg has written some fantastic poems and also songs, which he uses quite simple music for, which is quite pleasant. But yes, he has a beautiful sort of meandering style that plays with the actual physical form of poems as well as free verse and stuff like that. Sorry, I'm not good at making short videos, but quickly, favourite play, Arcadia. I studied it in English Lit and know it completely inside out, and it is a solid play, thematically, dialogue, actions. It's all set in one room in 2 different time periods at this manor house, and it's the whole thing is there's so many themes that come together. It's about like energy and aging and time, and the march that is life and things being dropped and picked up and recycled, and ideas coming backwards and forwards, and class and sexism and stuff like that. And it's so perfect. It's completely watertight. It's quite short. I don't know if there's any videos of it that exist. There is a radio play that you could find somewhere, but if you're interested in science and literature and Lord Byron and just bad craziness, then I would read Tom Stockard's Arcadia. I'm sorry this has gone on for so long, but it's much better than the first video I made, which is about post-Nerdfighteria and was awful, and I get all excited when I talk about literature. So I hope that if you didn't turn this off, which I wouldn't blame you for, that you enjoyed that, and that you should definitely go read all those books /play/poems. So thank you very much. Lydia's not going to make a video this week, I don't think, so next week she's going to use the same theme. But if anyone does need a theme and they're stuck, I would suggest doing like a day in the life, so just film from when you wake up to when you go to sleep if you want, or just a small section of your day. I don't know. Have a nice day. Ryan Allen. Goodbye.